You're gonna ollie your first stair set. I'm gonna take you step by step on how to straighten out your ollies, how to go off ledges with confidence and speed so you're finally ready to go off the stairs. Make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss a video from us. All right, let's get started. The most important skill in terms of ollieing down stairs is just learning how to ollie with speed. Most people who are having trouble clearing a stair set confidently just comes from the fact that they didn't have confidence with their ollie to begin with. A stationary ollie, or one moving at a low speed, has a lot of room for error. You can accidentally turn, you can lose connection with your feet from the board, and there isn't really a whole lot of bad things that are gonna happen. But once you gain speed, once rotating the board starts to become an issue, now you're looking at all these thoughts that creep into your head about your foot position, the direction of your board, how high you can ollie, if you can get it to stick to your feet, what do you do, how far are you gonna do it, when do you jump? There's so much that will creep into your head that we just have to narrow it down and focus on one solid skill. When you're moving, I want you to focus on feeling the board touch your back foot at the top of your ollie. If you can get a connection between your back foot and the grip tape, then you can control your board out of the air. If your back foot is off of the skateboard, now your board is gonna rotate or slide out in front of you. A lot of different things can happen. To practice this, you can simply do an ollie and push the nose a little bit lower than the back trucks while you're in the air. And then land on your back wheels first. This will show you what it's like to have a lot of feel with your back foot in the air. Now try to repeat that motion while you're moving. This does a couple of things. First, it gives you some semblance of control of your skateboard in the air, which is important. But more importantly, it gives you the feeling of confidence that you can move your board around after you take off, which is simply gonna be required when you're floating down 5, 6, or 7 stairs. It's a lot of time when you're in the air and you need something to do with your feet. You can't just pick them up and wait. It's not gonna work. To ollie with speed, you need to be able to keep your board straight. The most common mistake is that the board rotates front side. This will happen because of a couple of reasons. The number one reason that happens is because your front foot is coming up directly underneath your butt like this. Your nose will follow your front foot, so if your foot swings back underneath you, so does the board. You can fix that problem by bringing your front foot up and in front of you instead of back and behind you. If you bring your front foot up and across, your nose will want to follow it into the air. Now that board will stay straight. A small change you can make with your back foot is just turn it backwards a little bit. I believe that this helps square off your hips to your skateboard, makes it easier to bring the board up into a good position, versus if you're standing facing the target. For some reason, it seems like it's more common for that front foot to swing backwards even more. Generally, it's difficult for skaters to get it up and to push the front foot forward and down, which would hold the board straight. There are a few different skills that you can utilize to keep the board straight. All of them involve both your back foot and your front foot. It's easy in skateboarding to get too focused on your front foot because, no pun intended, it's doing most of the legwork anyways. But with that being said, you need to be able to shift your board backside and shift your board front side seamlessly to have any control or to be able to make any adjustments when you're actually doing your ollies. If I pick my board up slightly front side accidentally, which happens all the time, I know I can maneuver the board backside to straighten it out. Oftentimes, Ollies are not perfect. Or even better yet, you're gonna be ollieing into awkward situations. Maybe the ground you're landing on out of the stair set isn't perfectly flat. Maybe your body is accidentally rotating and you have to separate your board from your body to hold the board straight so you can skate out of it. I want you to stop thinking about it in a way that's like, how do I tactically keep my board straight when I do an ollie? And I want you to think about it more, how do I fluidly maintain direction no matter what is happening? If I rotate backside, I can still get my board to land straight because you can just move your feet around when you're in the air, okay? It's not just take off a certain way to land frontside, take off a certain way to land backside. It's just not how skateboarding works. Once you're able to feel the board in the air, now it's up to you to adjust it, to maneuver it, to use your instincts and your skill to hold your direction even through mistakes. There is not much different when it comes to the physics of an ollie when you compare a stationary one to one while you're moving. But what does change is the visual. When you're moving fast, instead of looking down at your skateboard, you're gonna be looking far out in front of you, as you should. You're gonna run into stairs and ledges and banks and all this stuff because you got all this forward speed. But with that comes target fixation. Then your ollies start to get weaker and less comfortable because your ollie wants to go towards where you're looking. If I push my ollie forward towards my target, I'm gonna have a pretty bad ollie. And this is commonly what happens when skaters go from a very slow ollie where they can keep their vision down, to then they gain a lot of speed and they want to go up something. All of a sudden their ollie goes away and they're like, skate IQ guy, what do I do? My fix for that is just pretend you're not moving. I imagine myself in a bubble and I'm stationary and the entire world is moving around. So my ollie and my kickflip happen in one spot. I just ignore the fact that my wheels are rolling and treat it exactly the same. Just because those wheels are rolling doesn't mean I'm reaching forward to go do things out there. That's the funny thing about skateboarding is I'm always standing still in this exact spot. I'm going fast, but I'm not moving at all. The sooner you can comprehend that and just focus your tricks as if they were stationary and ignore the fact that you're moving, you should start to feel how you can take your stationary pop and put it at Mach 1. Now, for the next important piece, going off of a ledge or a manual pad. Starting with common mistakes. Number one is not lifting your nose in the air. Number two is leaning too far back and not releasing yourself from the ground early enough. I can't think of a third one, but I know you guys are up to some ridiculous stuff. You have to release your weight from the ground to get off of the ledge effectively. So we're gonna treat it like we're doing a hippie jump where you lift the nose in the air. And we're gonna time it so our back wheels roll off of the edge while we're floating over the board. But here's the trick. You have to go fast enough to start jumping off of the ground before your front trucks get to the edge of the ledge. So you are floating by the time your front wheels come up in the air and then your board rides off of the edge. The big mistake that people make is jumping too late and having it feel like they're doing a manual instead of a hippie jump. It's hard to do, it feels awkward, and to be honest, it just takes too much skill to master. You want to get this jump happening well before you're at the edge of the ledge and let everything just ride off. Oh yeah?
I you on the skate IQ trying to learn how to overcome my fear of dropping in. So
that is so sick.
Pleasure,
it's nice to meet you.
Keep it up, dude. I'm all about it.
We're not stopping. No, no, not at all. That's completely cool. Now is a great time to focus on impact absorption and adding speed. I want you to be fluid and come out in a straight line. This is the hidden skill of ollieing downstairs that you can practice when you're doing small stuff. You just have to think about it and kind of force yourself to do it carefully. Now let's add some pop. Treat it just like you would treat it on flat ground, but try to land as soft as you can with your board pointing in a straight line. Imagine that you are ollieing from flat to flat, and then let yourself drop the rest of the way. Avoid the habit of ollieing down at the ground like you're in a rush to get to the lower level. Sometimes doing a bigger ollie will be more comfortable than doing a smaller one. Now ollie off the ledge going as fast as you can. If you're not comfortable doing that, you're not quite ready for the stair set. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, dog.
Yeah,
Bust it up.
no problem. We're out here grinding. Go get them. So this stair set is about hip high for me, which isn't that high, all things considered. So it's mostly a game of speed and absorbing the impact and keeping my board going straight. But the stair set is long. So the first thing I'm gonna do is visualize the speed that I'll need to clear it comfortably. The slower you go, the higher you have to ollie. So in my head, I'm gonna pick a speed and height that will get me comfortably over the stairs without ever doubting the fact I'll be able to clear it. Once I choose a speed and a height, I'll do a practice run up and I'll see if my visual matches what I thought it would look like. And if I feel like that's enough to clear it with an easy ollie, all systems go. When it comes to absorbing the impact, I'm trying to keep my weight equally distributed between my back foot and my front foot. And as I get deeper into the squat, I want it to drag me a little bit front side. I personally don't like the feeling of getting bottomed out after the stair set and being too much on my toes. It seems like it's harder on my ankles and knees, but it's just a preference because that's the way my body reacts. So when I get to the bottom of the squat, I like to be a little bit on the heel side. I'm absorbing the impact for a long time. It's not just like kaboom, done. The feet touch the ground, the knees start to bend, then you're loading into the ground, and then you stand up slowly. This fluidity of the landing will help keep the pressure off your ankles and knees and back and all this stuff. And it will also help you fight for the landing as you continually skate out of it. When you touch your wheels to the ground, it's gonna be heavy. You're jumping off of a stair set. So don't avoid the ground, but really accept it and try to feel all the pressure that's in your feet and into the board. Pay attention to how your board is flexing and how your ankles feel as everything touches the ground. You're gonna be absorbing a real impact. Don't avoid it. You're strong enough, you can do it and skate out of it. I try to land with my feet around the bolts. I don't want my back foot all the way back on the tail. I feel like that puts a lot of stress on your ankle and it can also be easy to snap your tail. So the more you can get your feet over the bolts, the more sturdy your board will be underneath you. Going downstairs can be dangerous and scary. So it's important to always skate within your means and take your time. Make sure you're building your skill set so you feel confident and strong and you're not in a rush to go jump down the biggest thing. El Toro can wait. Make sure you watch one of these two videos next. We post new content all the time, so make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss a video. All right, I'll see you guys soon.